classrooms and making demands which she and some of her fellow politicians find unreasonable, that we in Hong Kong are confronted with the risk of having a Tiananmen Square-like event. Now, my first reaction to that, and here I am sharing my own personal views, was that it was a kind of scare tactic, a way of using the possibility of violence, and it certainly is a possibility as you experience, but serious, deadly violence, as a way to essentially get people to shut up. Now, I thought about it a bit more, and my own view is that that sort of thing is unlikely. But I do think that it's important that, once again, we be aware of contingencies. So my point here is not to repeat what she said, to worry you or to scare you, but rather to be aware about possibilities, not of that sort, but really of any sort, but also the way in which people frame the issue. One of the key debates in scholarship, okay, we're talking about academic scholarship, about social movements, is about something called framing. How do you frame the issue? And when people say framing in this context, they're making the analogy to taking a photograph. You know, when you take a photo, you frame it in a certain way, right? Because you want to call attention to a particular issue or a particular feature. Right now, we are engaged in a struggle about how to frame what is happening in Hong Kong. On the one hand, there are people who are saying this is a situation in which this public disorder is disrupting the economy. It's going to have real consequences for everybody, not just banks, but also working people and businesses and things of this nature. And on the other hand, there are people who are saying, no, this is a struggle for equal rights. This is a struggle to make sure that what we in Hong Kong were promised is delivered. Okay? So what you are seeing right now in the newspapers and all around you are intense efforts to frame the issue. And this is something to watch out for, okay, as we move forward. But I would just simply like to conclude by asking all of you to think about some of the ideas that were presented, and in particular to realize that ideas are really important. It's an important thing for you to know what the hell you're doing. Okay? Whether that is supporting the maintenance of current arrangements or struggling for something new. You should know that. You should also think about why you're doing what you're doing, and you should have some sense of how you might respond. Okay? Listen, nobody's an expert because you haven't experienced this sort of thing. There's virtually nobody in Hong Kong that has a great deal of experience in this sort of social movement. Certainly, you have your parents' generation or your grandparents lived through the disturbances of the 60s and 70s. This is obviously a new ballgame. Okay? And I just want to encourage you to be thoughtful, explore, think about things, discuss things. Don't be shy about sharing your opinion. Somebody asks you a question, go for it. Question authority. And for now, that's all I have. So thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time. There is another talk at 4 o'clock by the law school.